I'm willing to miss the $10,000 taco because I know another call is coming later on. I prioritize my life to what's going on right now. If I'm in family time, phone's away.
And they all kind of looked at me, and I looked at my phone, and I just went, you know what? Let me just sit down and enjoy dinner with my family. And I called them back, I think 30 minutes later, and they said, sorry, you didn't answer your phone. We called somebody else.
The Den, powered by the Lyons Group, a show that explores trending topics in real estate, entrepreneurship, and personal growth. We're a small team of professionals with over $400 million in sales and nearly 2,000 successful transactions. You're listening to time-tested experts and industry leaders. Here's a refreshing look at real estate happenings and more. Welcome to The Den.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of The Den. And today we're going to be talking about a day in the life of a real estate agent. It's not all rose petals and glory, let me tell you. But before I get to that, let me introduce my friends, my partners, my co-hosts, the fellow members of the Lyons Group. To my right, Paul, hand me the rock berry. Aspen the Ninja Groen is not with us today, but we do have the boss, Shannon Martin Martinez. And my name is Ben Easy Street Lyons, and I'm your host of The Den. And there is no easy street in real estate. But today we thought we would talk to you about and share some insight, some true insight of what a day in the life of a realtor looks like, because we all have different lives and we all have different paths. And I think a lot of people just kind of, they watch HGTV and they think we just kind of show up and show houses and we sit down over lunch and talk about the pros and the cons and
closing parties, popping champagne.
Yeah. And that is really, it's not the reality of it. So we're going to peel back the layers and give you some insight of what our actual days look like 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. And hopefully you'll be able to sympathize with us or go, man, that's a pretty cool gig. So Shannon, I'm going to kick off with you. Day in the life of a realtor. Just walk me through, what does your day on a Monday like today look like? Give us the play-by-play.
Well, it's going to look different just about every Monday. It's never the same. Well, Monday, is usually when we meet. So Mondays are always my day to kind of get up and get started and get out of the house and get to the office. But I would say most days look different. I mean, every day I start my day, the night before, obviously I look at my calendar and see what appointments I have. And usually in between there, I try to sprinkle in my life, So you may have, a couple of showings or, I've got to work on continuing education. Maybe I have a market analysis I need to get done that day. I've got, maybe a showing, or maybe I got to let in a home inspector over here. So you've got all these things. You just got to kind of figure out where they fit and where to go. But every day kind of looks different, and you just got to figure out how to squeeze your life into it in between. So I would say most days I start out, I get up early and I get out and I take care of, me and my family, my home, first before the workday starts. So I try to make sure the animals are fed and, I'm put together whatever I need to get done there. And then you start taking care of reality. Some days it starts early and there's a million different directions you're pulled in, and other days, some days are surprisingly quiet and you think, wow, I really got my act together, I'm the best realtor in town. You start feeling like, maybe you've really figured it out. But you kind of let your day, you've got your things on your calendar and your things that need to be done. But then life gets in the way. You get that phone call of, one of your listings has water running out the door, a vacant house, or, the appraisal didn't come in and now I've got to deal with that today. So then there's all the surprises that come up during the day too that you don't expect. So every day can look different in real estate. It's not HGTV. Yeah. We don't just show up, well prepared and dressed nice and professional. Sometimes we're scooting in. We forgot to put on our makeup. We've got a coffee in our hand and, we're 10 minutes late to showing up to where we're supposed to be. And we've got 14 messages already in our voicemail. That's the reality some days too.
That is the reality of it sometimes. And it's funny because you say, the being late. I like to be early. My ideal thing is to try to be early, but the reality it is just hard because gauging timing with stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget my brother-in-law, Pete, who watches this. Pete, by the way, love you. He said to me one time, and this was many years ago, he goes, dude, you're going to be late to your own funeral. And I go, man, you have no idea, because you go meet with clients and you don't know if this guy's going to be 10 minutes or it's going to take an hour and 15. Mm-hmm. Like last night, I was at an appointment for 2 hours. I went out to a market analysis 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And usually market analysis take 30 minutes. I walk through.
Yeah, there's other ones where you walk in and they just want to know a value and you don't have a lot going on and you just get through and do it.
Yeah.
And other ones where they really want to know about you.
Yeah. They want to sit down and go through
offer.
Every detail and talk about, the strategies and everything in between.
And you just have to meet people where they're at.
That's right.
If it's quick, it's quick. And if it's not, you can't just say, I've got other things to do.
Well, I was late so much that I had to come up with a line. So I have a line I use every time. I go, the last conversation needed to end when it needed to end.
Yeah.
So I had to give that customer the time they deserve.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can give you the time you deserve.
That's a great way to say it. That's fantastic.
Because that is the truth.
We're
not showing up late because we don't care.
Yeah.
Even if I was just late.
Yeah.
That's still the story they're giving.
First appointment of the day. That last guy needed.
Yeah. Even if that last guy was your wife or your kid.
The amount of time they needed.
Well, and I say that to say this. Pete got into mortgages. This was 10 plus years ago.
Now he knows.
Pete, not always on time now, are you, buddy?
That's right. That's right.
And he did say to me, he goes, oh my gosh, I had no idea, because, you just trying to juggle schedules and conversations and stuff. And it is very difficult. And you're walking out the door and something comes in. That's the thing. And we've talked about this before, is you wake up unemployed every day. I mean, you're out trying to build your business and secure clients and things like that. And so, when that call comes in, you have to be attentive to it. You've got to take the time and talk with that person. Even though you're walking out the door to go run and have dinner with your family, you got to take those extra minutes and have a conversation with a client that just called you and meeting you and talking to you for the first time.
And sometimes it's not even about earning their business. It could be a time sensitive thing. Maybe they call and say, hey, I just got this, lead that hit Zillow a few minutes ago, and it's everything we've been looking for. And maybe you've written 4 offers on them already. They've missed out on every single one of them. Do you really say, well, I'm getting ready to have dinner. I'll catch up with you in a couple of hours. Or do you say, you're right. We need to go do that right now.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that, we take care of you in the manner that we need to take care of you. And so that's sometimes the issue too, is making sure that when people need attention right now, then you get it right now.
Yep. I have the $10,000 taco story.
Mm-hmm. I know, I've heard that one. That's heartbreaking.
working my tail feathers off. And I remember a phone call came in from a potential client, and I was just about to sit down with dinner with my family and eat some tacos. And they all kind of looked at me, and I looked at my phone, and I just went, you know what? Let me just sit down and enjoy dinner with my family. And so I sat down and enjoyed dinner, and I called them back, I think 30 minutes later, and they said, sorry, you didn't answer your phone. We called somebody else. They showed us the property. We're making an offer. And it would have been about 10 grand. But at the same time, for me, it was like, that was a bummer, but at the same time, I have to release it and say, it is what it is. I have to spend time with my family. If that deal didn't come my way, it wasn't meant to be. Yeah. And that's the mentality
There is a balance you have to find.
So I'm going to follow up with your conversation here, Shannon, on your daily, what your daily looks like, because we didn't delve into you going and getting the eggs from the hen house and maybe fixing a fence out on the farm.
Yeah.
But so when 5 o'clock comes, you just punch the clock and you check out, right? I mean, that's your day.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Once 5 o'clock comes, my day is mine.
Yeah.
No, that never happens. No, and I've shared before that I carry my laptop with me. If I, have to, even if I'm just going to run and grab a Starbucks, or if I'm going to run to the grocery store because I need to grab a couple groceries, I take it with me. And a lot of times I'm sitting in a parking lot on my hotspot, sending something to someone or writing up, an addendum or whatever needs to be done. I'm doing it in between those things. But I do that a lot, and we kind of laugh about it because there are plenty of times where, I'll get a call and I'm talking to someone and, they don't really know that I may be, wearing, rubber overalls and I'm in the middle of a field trying to, fix irrigation equipment and
I'm FaceTiming you every call now.
and I'm doing something like that while I'm, trying to schedule a home inspection or, texting somebody something or taking phone calls for things. And then I'll say, yeah, give me just 1 second and get my computer up and I'll call you right back. And then I'm running as fast as I could over, 10 acres to get back up to the house to pull out my laptop to do something. You can get really torn because you do still have a life that has to be done, but we don't get the luxury of punching in a clock 9 to 5 and saying, I'm 9 to 5, I'm 100% in work. And now that I'm done, I'm 100% at home and my family, my home, my animals, whatever, everything, my personal life gets this. No, I mean, I've had plenty of times where I'm dropping off a payment somewhere or running by the post office in between showings, or, this morning, before I got here, I met a contractor right at 8:00 to get in to look at some repairs. And then I drove over and went through a drive-through and grabbed my egg bites at Starbucks. And then I hit the board office and I picked up a check and scheduled some continuing education. And then I get to the office and then I sat down and I did an hour's worth of stuff while we sat and talked before we get ready. And now we're podcasting, and in between that, I've, got my phone here and you're taking care of little things. Your day looks different every single minute and you're bouncing between personal stuff, work stuff, taking care of everything because we don't have a traditional 9 to 5 where you're either in work mode or home mode. You're kind of in that mode all the time, round the clock.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? At 9, 10 o'clock at night, what's my favorite text to you?
Yeah. Are you busy? Are you up?
10 o'clock at night. Shannon, you busy?
To me.
Nope. Yeah. I'm right in front of my computer. What you need? Right. That's when I do some of my best work. That's when it's quiet and I can get some continuing education done, or I can get some, finally kind of organize a bunch of stuff that's been in my email that I need to pull out and make sure I, send it out to a million different people or whatever needs to be done.
Yeah.
That's the quiet time you can get stuff done.
Yep. So you fed it in.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, thank you on expanding little more details on your day, because I think it's important people understand that, you fit work and life. It just kind of this dance that happens every single day because no day looks exactly the same. I could wake up tomorrow and have 7 appointments on the books, or I could have nothing on the books and be running just as hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some days I say that a lot. I say, I don't have much going on today, honey. Let's go. Maybe we'll make time for lunch. And then it's 2:00 and he's like, I'm really hungry. And I'm like, just grab a sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's not going to happen today.
Yeah.
I thought it would.
There's some carrots in the fridge.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ben Lyons, a partner at the Lyons Group. We're dedicated to making your real estate experience the best it can be. If you're looking to buy or sell, go to sjcbroker.com and watch our informational video series. These videos break down the process and shed some light on buying or selling. While you're there, schedule a private consultation with one of our partners. We'd love to sit down, talk strategy, and give you a real advantage in today's market. You deserve the best. So take those steps and we'll see you soon. Now back to the show.
So Paul, let's talk about your days a little bit, because you're never have been one that, is like, I'm just going to go one route. You always have other things you're building. You're building your experience and your expertise in different areas: mortgage broker, home inspections, real estate agent, leadership on the state level, local level, and probably even national level at some point. Talk to us about what your day looks like. Everything from when you get up. What time do you get up in the morning? What's the first thing that you do? And then kind of walk us through it.
So I'm up. See, you guys are night owls.
I know. You get up early.
I'm a morning person. I'm usually up 3:30, 3:45, something like that. I go to the gym in the morning because the rest of the family and the rest of the world's asleep. So I'm at the gym from 4:30 to 6 because nobody's calling me. Nobody's going to mess with that time. So that's my time. And usually it turns into emails being done in between sets or something like that. So at the gym, then I come back, I have my family time, take my daughter to school, see the wife off to school, take my son, then take my son to school, then get started. But my day...
Dang, you're ready for dinner by the time I'm getting up.
I have a full day done by the time all you people are getting started. But those are the times I play catch up too. Because as soon as 8:00 rolls around, then the phone starts ringing. And then you have to figure out what you're going to do, because they're never planned phone calls, just like you were saying. It's some sort of an emergency. So I, in the last couple of years, have set up boundaries and said, you know what? I'm doing one thing right now. If I'm podcasting, the phone's over there. If I'm in a meeting, on a Zoom meeting, the phone is off to the side. I can't do 50 different things at once because then nothing is getting my full attention. So nothing's getting my best. And I saw your struggle last year with too many things happening and you can't. And I finally decided, I said, you know what? And I had an analogy with a guy, he's insurance. He owns an insurance company. And he was like, we missed 128 calls yesterday. And so the production is down and all this stuff. And I go, well, what's more important, quality service or answering every call? Are you running? And I said, so what's your mission? He says, to make sure every person gets the best service we can provide. Everybody deserves insurance. Everybody deserves these services. I said, well, it sounds like you're running a charity. You have to help everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's a charity. That's not a business plan. You know what I mean? So I had to help him kind of figure that out. When I look at my own stuff, I go, I'm willing to miss the $10,000 taco because I know another call is coming later on. You know, I prioritize my life to what's going on right now. If I'm in family time, phone's away.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in, like I said, I have to be 100% what I'm doing. Podcasting right now, I have to be 100% here. So getting back to my day, usually 8 o'clock rolls around, I drop my son off, and then it's either, if I have Monday mornings, I have blocked off for this. And then if I don't have anything the rest of the day, I go to the inspection company and I said, fill me up. So they fill up every day. And then when the calls come in, I kind of move things around.
So you got the dance going on too.
Yeah.
It's always a dance, isn't it?
It is. And it's, I think it's satisfying for me because it's always something different.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I have different tracks going on. So if nothing's going on in this one, I know something's going on in this one or
Mm-hmm.
this one or this one. Now, sometimes being too busy is not a good thing because then you're like, I have to cancel everything to get this one thing done because you have to put it off to do all the other stuff. But that's rare.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah. And I think, one of the big things for me is just what you two both spoke about was sometimes you get so much going on, so many different conversations, so many things happening, so many moving parts that I just told my girls this. I'm like, slow and steady is fast. So I've been able these last few years to just go, okay, because when you have all that noise floating around, like it's easy to sit down and go, I'm overwhelmed. Like I can't do another thing. If you handed me a house plant, I couldn't take care of it. Like it gets to that point. So then what we do is put our head down and focus on the task in front of us and shut off all of the noise. Like what you just said, handle that, look up, grab the next task, put your head down, get that one done, and just one thing at a time. And before you know it, you've cleared your path.
Well, and that's the other thing too about this job. I mean, everybody thinks it's so glamorous, but nobody's dying if we don't get an amendment out immediately. I mean, we might miss a house that was available because we weren't busy enough or where we were too busy to help somebody, but there's going to be another house. I mean, other people's emergencies, because if you think about it, you have 20 deals going right now. Is that what you said earlier?
Yep.
That's 20 different schedules, 20 different people with 20 different schedules, all asking for your time. You have to, unless you would lose everything. You'd lose control of everything if you just tried to help everybody when they needed it. You have to say, okay, I'm taking these calls in and then fit it in your day to help everybody and get it done.
And then things will take care of themselves. They'll resolve themselves. It's kind of like when I used to take the week trip, I'd go hiking for a week with some of my best friends. And we would literally like be in areas with no service. And I'd be like, Shannon, like that week, it may be, I don't know if I'm coming back to a house on fire or if everything's going to be calm. Right. Like, and then what I realized over the years of taking that week was that things do in fact work themselves out. I don't have to be a part of every single aspect, to your point, like, because you would just lose your mind. There's no way you can control everything that's going on all the time. Now you got to set it up right.
Yeah. Well, one of the things is we think that the universe revolves around us. Like if we were to be removed, everything falls apart. And the perspective that I got was when my father was sick 2 years ago. I took a lot of time to be with him, and I had my best year in business. Everything, and I was president of the board. Mm-hmm. Everybody else steps up when there's a vacuum. Other people step up.
Yeah.
So if you can't get an answer to a customer, they might look somewhere else and get the answer for themselves. So I think being that pop-up realtor is not necessarily the best thing you can do. And you guys had a podcast on work-life balance the other day.
Yeah.
I'd say I go by that old saying, I don't live to work, I work to live. And if it gets flipped, then I've got to reevaluate everything.
Yeah, you get off kilter pretty quick, right? For sure. So, well, that's interesting. So when you get to the end of the day, you just punch out too. You're done, right? I mean, 5 or 6 o'clock.
So it used to be the phones would ring at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and people going, what do you think about this? And I go, I think I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, because I used to take those calls. I don't take those calls anymore because there's nothing I can do. It's taking away from my family. I mean, the banks aren't open. Title company's not open. The inspectors aren't answering their phones. You wouldn't call your doctor, your lawyer, your dentist, any of those things that late. Why us? Mm-hmm. So I said, after 6 o'clock, I usually bend that to 7 o'clock, but after 6 o'clock, unless I'm working directly with you, I don't take a call.
Yeah, it's hard. You have to establish some boundaries, because I do find myself responding to things late at night, early in the morning. And for me, it's more of clearing those things off. For you, it's more about protecting your sacred time and your mental.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I'm going to bed.
I woke up at 3:30.
Right. Like I've been up enough hours at this point.
Yeah, by 8 o'clock, I'm punchy. Like if you want to bring a problem to me, it's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a little curt answer. Yeah. Well, my day looks similar to you. It starts off not quite as early, obviously. But I usually get up around 6 o'clock. I'll get downstairs. We have a little gym downstairs that I work out in. I'll get some type of walking in or do some form of exercise. Just take some quiet time with myself. By the time I really, really try hard not to check my phone. The hard thing is like I want to play music or whatever else. I'm on my phone, but I'm tempted to check emails or texts, and I just try to ignore that. And so I can get the first hour and a half, 2 hours going of my day without being responsive to other people. And then once I have that kind of quiet time, then when I'm done with that, I'm up, we're getting ready as a family, get the girls off to school. And then by then, my day is really kicking into gear. And the very first thing I do is I sit down and try to touch all the clients I'm working with right now, all the deals that we've got going on, just do a quick overview of those, because a lot of people don't realize if you're not in this business, like it's not just the deals that are under contract, right? You are building relationships with people that you're trying to help them get under contract, buy or sell a property. And then you have a relationship post-closing that you want to encourage and continue to be a part of. And so there's 3 main phases that you have, plus all the marketing in between and then the surprises that we get. Hey, if we don't get this amendment, then we don't get a close on time. The moving truck showing up, those are time-sensitive things that have to happen right then and there.
Don't forget about all the ancillary calls you have to make, the vendors that we have, the relationships you have to deal with, all of them, setting things up, scheduling like you're talking about. It's not just the money-making calls that you have to make. It's all the other things that you have to do that someday will help you make money.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's all the ancillary. What do you say? Ancillary?
That's what I said.
Yeah. So all the extra things.
Yeah, you guys are way too smart for me.
They go. I like big words. I just don't know what they mean. But you start filling in all the gaps of stuff that help build your business for down the road. I mean, those are the systems and processes that it's taken us 20 plus years to develop. And Paul, you're coming up on almost 10. I mean, you're 8 plus years. Think about everything we've developed in 8 years as far as just systems and processes. So those are all the extras.
Well, and then too, with with leadership, like you served for a long time too. That takes a lot of time, a lot of thought, a lot of phone calls, a lot of travel, all those types of things. So you got to fit all that in with your regular business, family, everything that we're talking about. So if you want to help the industry or give back or do anything charitable or anything like that, you have to find time for that as well.
Yeah. It's a balancing act. I mean, and it really is a dance throughout your day. You are dancing between living, because you don't want to live to work, right? You're working so you can live, and you just are that constant ebb and flow. So
and you have to ask yourself, everything that's pulling you away from what you're doing right then, does it help your overall goal?
Yeah.
So if any of those things at any point aren't helping the goal, you have to think about taking them out.
Yeah. Remove them if they're not in line. You got to get real clear on your vision there. Yep. But we've just got a few minutes left. Let's talk specifically about weekends. You don't work on weekends, Shannon?
No. Saturday and Sundays are
your days.
My days off. Yeah.
No,
it does slow down a little bit because you really don't have access to, the title company and lenders and usually, inspectors and a lot of that stuff on the weekends. But that's a lot of times where your customers, they're off and now they do have time. And that's when they want to go look at a house or they want to call and say, okay, now I've got time. I'm going to review these documents. Let's talk about it, So there's just a different kind of set of work. I will say weekends for me do slow down. It does slow down because there's less that can move forward on those days. But they're still busy days. Yeah. They're still busy days. They're never days off, really, but they're definitely a little bit better.
So is it fair to say you can look back and go, I haven't had a day off in like 3 months, like literally a full day off?
Oh yeah. There's not too many days that I can get up and have a full day that real estate wasn't involved. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying, there's not too many days that I can say,
I didn't talk with a client. I didn't send
my
something off.
I didn't in my purse and I went out and I didn't look at it all day. And, it's not like when you work at a hotel or something and you're on your time off.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
I was in London last year, right about, it was in July. And with the time difference, I was on with customers at midnight.
Yeah.
Walking the hallways of our hotel.
Talking,
dealing with this kind of stuff. So there's no time off.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the boundaries, you could get bogged down 24 hours a day in this.
Burnout is real. Mental burnout, emotional burnout. I just remember telling my wife when we went to a vacation in Hawaii and she's like, "Why are you on your computer?" I'm like, "Look, I just have to clear these emails. I just have to respond to these people because I can't go out and enjoy my day, on this vacation without having just getting this done."
Another thing, I think when we complain, I don't think we're really complaining about it.
Just
when we're, kind of realizing how overwhelming some of that can be, also realize that the fact of the job that we work gives you the time and ability to take 10 days in Hawaii,
Yeah.
I mean, somebody that worked an office job would never traditionally be able to do something like that.
Or you work an entire year
you
get those days.
A week vacation, maybe. And so, sometimes my husband is really understanding about it because if we go on vacation and I just say, you know what, we just need to pull over and find a coffee shop somewhere so I can get some Wi-Fi and I'm going to get a few things taken care of and then we can move on. He's more than happy. He'll sit and play on his phone or just chat with me or whatever while I do my stuff because he understands that this is what allows us the freedom to be able to just go do what we want to when we want to because my job is on the go.
Yeah.
I didn't have to check in at a 9 to 5 this week. I can go do something else somewhere else and still be servicing people exactly as if I were sitting in an office.
And I'm glad you said that because this whole conversation has not been, oh, woe is me, whatever. This is just some insight into our daily lives. And I wouldn't change it for anything because the freedom it does allow you. You can wear your rubber overalls and be cleaning out an irrigation ditch and handle a call. I can grab my morning coffee, walk up to my office and sit in front of my computer while my wife is doing her thing. and we can have conversations, and I can shut my computer down and go spend some time with her
That's right.
through the day. So it's a wonderful blessing as well. But it is just interesting to give some insight, because a lot of people just maybe have a vision of what we do in their head, and it may or may not be what we discussed today. But we're running out of time, so I'm going to have to wrap it up. But a fantastic episode about talking and hopefully peeling back some layers of what we actually experience in this business, the goods and bads. That's in every industry, every profession. You have the pros and cons, and hopefully we shed some light on what we deal with on a daily basis, which is both wonderful and also a little bit of a pain in the butt sometimes, but that's okay. That's what we take it, and I wouldn't trade my career for anything, and we love to serve our customers. And speaking of serving our customers, if you want to schedule a private consultation with any member of the Lyons Group, please go to sjcbroker.com. You can reach out to us, contact us directly. We'd love to sit down with you, whether you're buying or selling residential or commercial, and help you get an advantage in today's market. So thank you for listening to this episode of The Den. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Den, powered by the Lyons Group. Hit the subscribe button to keep informed, and check the show notes below for direct links to our buyer and seller video series. The buyer and seller video series can give you an inside track on taking the right steps in real estate. If you'd like to learn more about the Lyons Group or to schedule a consultation, go to sjcbroker.com. Complex markets require complex strategies. The Lyons Group can give you a true advantage in any market. Whether you're buying or selling, residential or commercial, contact us directly at sjcbroker.com. We're time-tested experts with a client-first approach, and we'll see you next time in the Den.